This is Brother Jamal coming to you here with the Sunday evening edition where we speak the truth. Now that we speak the truth, we tell the truth, and this is coming from the last man standing. Truth is the wealth of freedom. We communicate, educate, and organize. Truth is the wealth of freedom. We communicate, educate, and organize. Truth is the wealth of freedom. We communicate, educate, and organize. Truth is the wealth of freedom. We communicate, educate, and organize. This is the Sunday evening edition where we speak the truth. Now we speak the truth. We tell the truth, and this is coming from the last man standing. Any kind of comments you have, you can drop them in at the bottom of the page. Question you have while I'm on live, please feel free to ask. And if you want to just come on and listen, that's okay. We are still discussing the Nolan Wells murder. We are still also talking about the setup of Mr. Carmelo Anthony's on the rigging of his trial and what happened, the rush to get it done and a verdict and all that. And last but not least, we continue to say that we are at war. And all you have to do is look around and see all the things that are happening to black people to let you know that's what it is. Our discussion this evening is from the pages of Urban Community Broadcasting Company, KUCB Radio, where we not only speak the truth, we tell the truth, and this is what we call talk radio from KUCB Radio. So let us go ahead and get into it. We have been talking about the fact that we are at war. And for those people out there who the signs and symbols are for the conscious mind, the black people that have conscious minds and know what time it is, know what's going on, and know that's what it is. When you see all the indications of the fact that we're at war, nobody's going to come on the national news and say it. Nobody's going to make a public service announcement and say it. But all the indications are there. Signs and symbols are for the conscious mind. And so the ones of us that are conscious enough, we see it, we know it, and we know what time it is, and we know what's going on. See? And so I would say to every black household, you need to make sure that you join a gun club, and your whole family should be taken and go to the gun range and know how to use a weapon. There are so many different gun clubs. I'm seeing all of the different sites on YouTube, and so they got them all over the place. Every city almost you in, they have a gun club. So I'm encouraging, especially in the black community, black people, take your family to learn how to use a weapon and join a black gun club. They have them all over the country, y'all. The other thing is, too, is that as we keep the pressure up on these white devils, understand that you're going to see more things happen. You're going to see more things take place, and more things are going to go on and go, happen. So people need to be ready and prepared for that. Now, as we get into the case, the murder of Mr. Nolan Wells, I'm sure most of you now have saw our brother. I think it's Carlos Moore, I think is his name. He's a judge, not in the state of Mississippi. He used to be in the state of Mississippi, but he practiced in all of the other 40-some states beside Mississippi. But he has been speaking and talking about the action of these white devils in Mississippi. And it really shouldn't come as no surprise to us. See, it should not be no surprise. Now, if you know any history, the state of Mississippi has been like this since the time of Fannie Lou Hamer. Since the time they murdered Emmett Till in Money, Mississippi in 1955. So you can go back to the 40s and the 50s and go back to that time period. See, so it shouldn't be no surprise in how these white devils are in Mississippi. The brother, the judge, Carlos, I think Moore is his name. He has, in his last two talks, I saw him last night. Him talking about the devils, the evil, wicked devils that's in Mississippi, and they're there, y'all. And probably got some black devils or some black coons there too. See, some coons there, I should say, in Mississippi. So that's one of the places right now that's being focused for the wickedness and the corruption and the cover up and the devilish stuff that those white devils do there in Mississippi. They've been doing this is go all the way back, like I said, to the murder of Emmett Till. They had a white devil there by the name of Lester Maddox. See, he goes back to probably the 40s and the 50s. See, so let us be clear, y'all, that this is what's going on in Mississippi. And we need to keep the pressure on these white devils' deck. You hear me? On their neck. We need to keep the pressure on their neck. We need to keep our boot on their neck. Every bit of pressure that can be brought to bear on the state of Mississippi needs to be brought down right as this hour as we speak. I don't expect the devil in the White House to do anything. I don't expect the FBI to do anything. See, nothing. I don't expect them to do nothing. And the devil that's involved at every level in Mississippi, all them devils are doing is covering this up. That's all they're doing. They're covering up, trying to stall for time. That's all they're doing, trying to cover up and stall for time. And let me tell you what else Allah knows. I believe they tortured Mr. Wells. I believe they did a satanic sacrifice on his body. I believe that's what they did. Them white devils in Mississippi I'm talking about. I believe they did a satanic sacrifice and rituals on Mr. Wells' body. And it could be to the point where it's just, you can't, it can't even be described. Some of the things they probably did to him in his last hour, minutes or seconds of his life. See, they murdered him. That's what they did. And them devils down there know they murdered him. I don't expect them to confess. No, I don't expect that. I really don't even expect them to arrest anybody. You see what I'm saying? At this point, 14, 15 days have passed. And nobody has been arrested. Nobody has been charged. No search warrants, no nothing to them devils in Mississippi. See, them white devils in Mississippi. And in Mississippi, the white devils there are just like a hellhole. That's what that's like. That's like a hellhole in Mississippi. And they got some coons there that they use to put in front of us to try to smooth it over, to try to make it seem like it's all right. It ain't all right because you're a bunch of lying devils. That's what you are in the Mississippi. See, what needs to happen is when you talk about the world court, Mississippi should be brought up before the world court. See, the state of Texas should be brought up before the world court. See, because you got 2 states, including Alabama, 3 states, is nothing but a bunch of redneck devils. That's what they are. See, and let me tell you something too. Let me throw this in the mix. Back when this cowboy, this devil, this white cowboy devil was in the White House, Ronald Reagan. See, that's where all of this stuff started at. Ronald Cowboy Reagan was in the White House at one time. Yes, he was. He was a white devil too, the same thing. See, that's where all of this stuff that you see now is being carried on from the time of Ronald Reagan, see, was in the White House. He was nothing but a white devil too. He was the same way, see. A long list of them white devils and came through the White House, just like the one that's in the White House now, same thing, see. So what I was saying is that the state of Mississippi, the state of Alabama, the state of Texas, they should be brought before the world court and charge them with human rights violation of black people. See, start with genocide practices against black people. The state of Louisiana, the state of Texas, the state of Alabama, and the state of Mississippi, them 4 states. Now it's some more. I'm just naming off the top 4. Every one of those states should be brought before the world court and charged with genocide practice against black people here in this country. Yes, they should, because that's all they have did. From the time that our people arrived in those states, kidnapped and arrived in those states, all those rednecks, devils have did is practice genocide against black people. That's what they did, y'all. Yes, they did. So, and look, let me tell you how low these redneck devils or coons or whatever it was that did it. They had the nerve to send some mail to Mr. Nolan Wells. They had a nerve to send a package to his mom's house. See, that show you how low. Plus, not only is it low, but it's a cowardly act too. See, that's what cowards do. See, send mail to his mom and dad's house, and those people are grieving because their son has been murdered. And the coward had nerve to send mail to the mother of Nolan Wells' house. See, that's a cowardly act. See, and did not put no return. I know they wouldn't put no return address on. They ain't that brave. See, they put no return address, no. But it takes a coward to do what they did though, sending the mail. And let me tell you something else to you coons out there who keep jumping all over Al Sharpton and Ben Crump. What y'all need to be doing is jumping on them devils in Mississippi who murdered Mr. Nolan Wells. It's too bad that y'all don't have enough courage and guts to talk the way you talk about Ben Crump and Reverend Al Sharpton. Why don't you talk about them rednecks, them white devils in Mississippi that murdered Mr. Nolan Wells? That same speech that you given to Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, why don't you give that to the devils in Mississippi, the white devils in Mississippi that murdered Mr. Wells? Why don't you give that same bad talk to the devils in Texas who set up this whole operation to railroad Mr. Carmelo Anthony? See, why don't you give that same speech to them? But it's easy to give it to your own people. See, that's easy. You ain't gonna talk to the white folks like that. I know you won't. You ain't got enough guts. But I'm talking to the coons out there who see a need to go out and attack Ben Crump and Reverend Al Sharpton. The other thing is too, I want to say in this whole setup is that you see now on social media, you see some of these coons on there who be making statements about black men were better off doing slavery than they are now. See, that's from a coon perspective. Understand that. A coon perspective that had been trained by his white master, his white slave master. That's where that comes from. And you see they be put on these programs and they be the only one on there talking like that. See, a coon perspective talking and protecting and speaking on behalf of his white slave master. That's what you see, these coons. And there's a whole bunch of them out here, y'all. There's a whole bunch of them. They're all over the place. You got some coon women that be doing the same thing. See, this coon female that be on social media calls herself Unshakable April out of the Georgia, light skin, short hair. She be talking the same way. When you listen to her talk, she sound like a woman, a woman coon. That's what she sound like. Yes, she sound like a woman coon. There's another one, Diamond and Silk, same thing. there's a couple of coon men that be on. Big cowboy hat, light gray beard. He sounds like a coon. Angry Man, same thing. All of them. Arthur Henderson is another coon that be on. And it's some more. But the two top coons, if I had to give the award to anybody, the two top coons would be Jason Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith. Those are the two head coons. I mean, you got the top tier coons, then you got some that's under them, then you got some that's below them. But the top two coons that get the award would be Jason Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith. Those are the top two coons. They beat out everybody else. They are like, you can tell when they talk, they have really been trained well by their master. You can tell that. So once again, we are saying in the case of the appeal for Mr. Carmelo Anthony's, he has a new legal team, and the pressing, keeping our feet on the neck of these white devils in Mississippi, in the murder of Mr. Nolan Wells, see, and the cowards who decided to send his mother some mail. I said cowards because that's what they are. They're nothing but a bunch of cowards. If they white devils, if they coons, either way, see, the wind goes, you still a bunch of cowards. See, you're still redneck devils if you did it in Mississippi. Cowards in Mississippi. Coons in Mississippi, wherever you may be at. See, to send his mother some mail, that shows you're nothing but a coward. See, you didn't have the guts to put a return address, which that would be, no way you could do that. See, I know you couldn't. But once again, we will keep the pressure up on these white devils in Mississippi. We will keep the pressure up, keep our foot on their neck, and press it harder. You hear me? Press it harder. And if you think that we gonna back down or we gonna give up, no. Everybody's in on this one. See, everybody's in on this because we know that you white devils. We know that you murdered Mr. Nolan Wells in Mississippi. That's what we know. We know that you murdered this young man. See, and we also know that you have set up and tried to set the rush to have a trial for Mr. Carmelo Anthony. See, you badmouth his mom and dad. You badmouth Mr. Carmelo Anthony. You tried to do the same thing with Nolan Wells' family. See, you tried to do the same thing. And you're trying to bring these coons out, these coons in Mississippi, to make it seem like there was no racism involved. Well, it's obvious that these white boys had jealousy, had envy all over their faces towards Mr. Wells. Maybe in the pictures they didn't show it because they were grinning and smiling to play that off. But inside, all the jealousy and envy sit. And they were just waiting for an opportunity with the rest of them devils that was at that party. They was waiting for an opportunity to murder Mr. Wells. Not only murder him, but I believe they tortured him. I believe they performed a satanic ritual on Mr. Wells' body. That's what I believe they did. Them white devils in Mississippi I'm talking about. See, so once again, we communicate to educate and organize. We communicate to educate and organize. We communicate to educate and organize. Truth is the wealth of freedom. Truth is the wealth of freedom. Truth and truth alone is the wealth of freedom. You've been listening to the Sunday evening edition from the pages of Urban Community Broadcasting, from the pages of KUCB, where we bring you the best talk radio. We've been live here. And inshallah, if it be your will, we have another program that possibly we're going to be doing a podcast, inshallah, tomorrow. I'll try to let you know where you'll be able to see that recording after they record it. I'll let you know where you can be able to see it. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up live, but we find out that you can pick it up live, then we'll let you know in the morning. Once again, you've been listening to the Sunday evening edition where we speak the truth. Not only we speak the truth, we tell the truth, and this is coming from the Last Man Standing, from Urban Community Broadcasting, KUCB Radio, right here live.